Another week of men's walk and talk, and we are Hampstead Station and it's closed. But guess what? Lots of the men still made it because for them it's very important for well-being to meet up on a Sunday. And we're just gonna have a nice walk down to Camden town area. And yeah, it's just interesting, you know, that 2 trains and a bus and a shuttle and a bloody rocket afterwards, but all the guys are here. Surprisingly, they found a way to make it. So yeah, well-being, men, well-being, very important.
I hope you know each other. No, the thing, I'm just repeating what he said. I said, young man, okay, young man.
There's some questions I get from the public. Why do this, right? And why do long videos? Why not try and do it in a short? It's very difficult to put so much content in a short. And I don't believe that we should pamper to the nation's attention deficit by short-changing them by putting stuff in a short where they're missing a lot that can help with mental health. And the honest truth is, it's better off to help one person to have 6 views and to help one person's mental health than to have a short and has over 1,000 views and help absolutely no one. That's not the aim here. The aim is not for views and likes. The aim here is to change people's lives. And not just men, but everyone. Because we're looking for the knowledge to be shared among everyone. Mental health is very important. And to be able to come out on a Sunday, to be able to learn about the environment, to be able to socialize. I mean, social relationships are so important, and people don't even realize it because, you know what, especially for after lockdown, there's still some residual effects, negative effects from lockdown, that is still there psychologically in the brain, in the heart, in the mind, in the body. There's still symptoms, but we're going to continue striving for better health, and it means hard work, unfortunately. And yeah, I just shortchanging you guys by giving you guys it into a short for likes and views. It's defeats the purpose. So these parks, these ponds in Hampstead Heath Park, they are actually fed by springs, underground springs, and you can swim in them all year round. Apparently people, the locals, they swim in them all year round. Now, it's too cold for me to do it, way too cold. Maybe if it was in the middle of summer, I might jump in. Well, that's really nice, really cool.
Chain them down, man.
That's how I've seen dogs swimming in them, in that pond there. But behind the one behind me, the other pond, yeah, only people can swim, no dogs. So we are actually on top of Hampstead Heath, and we're just looking to London. And London basically is a basin. Yeah. So it was flooding. Boy, that's gonna be one big pool. Instead of Salt Lake City, we call it Fresh Lake City. Wow. We live in a basin.
I'm an artist, I'm a systemic constellations practitioner, I'm a writer and a decolonial scholar activist. Is identifying and acknowledging and honouring the different parts of ourselves. The psychological parts of ourselves, the emotional parts of ourselves, the physical parts of ourselves, the relation parts of ourselves. And all of us in our families of origin, whatever their shape or size or actual makeup, are basically imprinted with the spoken overt rules of being included, being a member of that family system, and the unspoken rule. I've spent time with the Men's Walk and Talk group. We've walked around Hampstead Heath, spotting some of the key observation points and key sites on the Heath itself. And then we've come to the Camden Art Centre, which is at the junction of Arkwright Road and Finchley Road, also in Hampstead. And we've just had a bit of a talk where I've shared some of my experience, some of my motivation, and some of my orientation within the world of systemic constellations practice. And that conversation was based on my newly published book, Ancient African Futures, Systemic Constellations Practice, a Decolonial Poetics, which is published through Palgrave Macmillan, published this year, 2025. You can find that in all the usual book channels. And it's been fantastic to spend time with a group of brothers, to be in conversation and dialogue. I feel enriched. That feels like it's been reciprocal, and any brothers out there that have heard about the Walk and Talk series, I strongly and warmly encourage you to get in touch and participate. Born radical. It happened as a consequence of my birth, as a consequence of my DNA, as a consequence of this distinct ancestral inheritance. Waves of experience, knowledge and wisdom, heralding from Ireland, Scotland and England, heralding from Nigeria, Ghana and the Ivory Coast.
Right, so it's the end of the men's walk and talk. Yeah, I never, Hampstead Heath, never realized that it was such a vibrant place. Seeing people swimming in the pools. Today was a bit, I'm a bit lost for words. I think the reason I'm lost for words is I had a fellow therapist there talking about his modality, and it was nice to hear someone explain in such symptomatic form or simplicity what therapy is, and about understanding yourself and not rejecting, embracing your history, to bring it out in the open to help you understand it instead of getting rid of your problems. His modality is constellation therapy, which I'm not, something I don't know much about. But also, it's also helping people look at systemic racism that affects them in their society, environment, around religion, that kind of stuff. But it's nice to hear that, that therapy is no longer being stuck in these little niches, where, you have to work a certain way. It's expanding now, it's looking at it's more inclusive, it's also more diverse. So yeah, it was nice to hear that. But yeah, it's funny, I don't really have much to say on this one because I think there's a lot going through my head from this walk and talk. Yeah, I'm a bit kind of lost with the artwork itself, the exhibition that's looking at, I don't know, I wasn't sure, but there was one part looking at masculinity, male black masculinity, and I almost didn't get it. I wasn't sure what the artist was trying to show or to bring forth. But is that what masculinity is? What I like is what the men said. A lot of them said that how, for them, this walk is very therapeutic, because it allowed them to talk more, where in society they feel that they cannot be more open. They need to follow this kind of paradigm where, you have to have this persona of you don't talk about your feelings as a male, and especially as a black male. But funny enough, because I heard it from the same thing from other members who are not black. So maybe it's more popular than you think. But yeah, you know what? It is what it is. I'm gonna leave it as that, and I'll see you in the next one.